To live is to suffer. To survive is to find meaning in the suffering. Now that's a great quote by Viktor Frankl. He was a Holocaust survivor. Today my video is going to be centered around a couple quotes from him. He was a man of great belief that we had to find the little things in life. That even in the midst of the most brutal and most vicious, heinous crimes, that you could find meaning in that. In his book, Yes to Life, he stated, "The key to a free mind was seeing meaning in life, not just in the way we are used to thinking of it as some greater purpose, but in every moment. That if we could find meaning in the minuscule portions of life, that something was greater than ourselves, then we would possess the will to survive, or, if circumstances deemed otherwise, the peace to see meaning in our demise. Freedom was the key to meaning. Freedom how to choose how you saw and experience every part of suffering. To Frankl, death contained meaning, just as life did. Freedom of your mind wasn't just about surviving, it was about being able to choose. That if you were going to die, you still had the ability to escape the place you were in, to go somewhere else, even if it was only in your mind. That even in death, it was essential that we should die a death of our own, and not the death that the SS had forced us to." I think that finding meaning in our circumstances, in our suffering, and using it as a purpose to guide us and ground us, I think it's the key. And I absolutely love this whole excerpt. The freedom to choose. I think I opened up my last video with this, but the purpose of life is to experience. And in every moment, we have the ability to choose. We live in our mind alone. So why not make it a nice place to be? I think that so often we let all these things. A negative experience is only negative because you choose to see it that way. I think that it's very important that we, take a second to stop and look around at everything, at life. Another Holocaust victim who went through these horrible things was Anne Frank. And she had that same mentality of finding the little things in life. And I respect it. And I greatly appreciate what those two did for me, and it helped open up my view on life. That even in the middle of such utter atrocities, that they could both extract meaning in the little things. Whether that be nature, whether that just be wandering in your own mind. Having that choice of pure willpower, it just takes away all the power of the negativity. Having a choice gives us meaning. And meaning is deeply enrooted with our purpose. And our purpose is what grounds us. I think that we need to take a second to think about that and reflect on it. It's not to get you down, but it's to get you thinking, your mind working. That if these two people could go through such horrible things and still be positive, still look for the absolute most positive thing, even though it was super negative, that we could all be a little bit better, because in those thoughts, in those times of trials and in those times of tribulations, our inner why will tell us, it'll guide us. It'll always guide us. That meaning could be extracted. Purpose is the glue that holds us together, allowing us to rise above even the most harrowing of situations. And honestly, that's all I can say. The act of doing, experiencing, you experience it in suffering. True suffering of an authentic fate is an achievement, and indeed the highest possible achievement. And what this is saying that, suffering wasn't to be sought out, but that meaning could be extracted. And that suffering strips us of our vanities and allows us an opportunity to respond. It's always about responding and not reacting. Meaning was a way to get through the suffering, to work through adversity. The suffering needed to be meaningful. And that's rooted in who we are, and it can only be found in who we are. I think that we can take a lot out of what Frankl says. Because I think that the suffering ends when you stop trying to see it as suffering and start trying to see it as an opportunity to grow. And I think day by day, if we can just start experiencing nature, experiencing ourselves, experiencing our thoughts, experiencing those around us, that we can be a little more tame in our minds, and that we too can extract meaning in our suffering. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not going to be easy. But if that can give you peace, I think it's worth chasing. I think it's worth fighting for, just like those two did. They fought for it, and they deserve their flowers. So in this moment, just fight for it. Experience the life you live. Embody the life you live. Start now.